Today we're going to be looking at distance time graphs, and before we get to the mindful note, I just want to show you a short video which will show what a distance time graph looks like while we're simulating a man moving. In a distance time graph, the x-axis represents the time, and you can see ours goes from 0 to 20 seconds. The y-axis represents distance, and we're going to ignore the negative part of the distance, which they're calling position in this case. And we're going to be focusing on the positive values, so from 0 to 10. So in this first section, I'm going to show you what it looks like if the man is walking at a constant speed. So when the man walks at a constant speed, he's walking away from where he started, so the line moves up. And since he's walking at a constant speed, the line is straight. Now what I'm going to do is change his speed, which we call velocity, and he's going to walk a little bit faster now. And let's see what happens to the graph. You can take a minute and think what happens to the graph. And then I'm going to show you what happens as he increases his speed a little bit. And as you can see here, the steepness of the line increases. If we were to now change his speed to be even higher, then you will see that the graph will look even steeper. Now I'm going to show you what happens if the man stands still. So before I show you, what do you think is going to happen? Well, let's take a minute. So he's gone to this house. He's going to stand still for a minute. And what happens is the graph just stays horizontal because his position is not changing, but the time still moves. Now what we're going to do is look at what happens when the man goes back. So in this case, what we have to do is change the speed to be negative to represent that he's going back. So if his speed is negative, he's going to go back, but what do you think is going to happen to the graph? So you see he's turned directions, and let's see what happens to the graph. So the graph starts sloping downwards. The graph does not go backwards because time is still going on. So the time is still getting positive, but because he's traveling backwards, the graph is sloping downwards. And then if you wanted to reduce his speed, so instead of traveling, let's have him travel slower. All right, he's still going to head backwards, but he's going to travel slower. And then you'll see, because he's traveling backwards, the line is still going to be sloping down, but because he's traveling slower, it's going to be less steep. Just like that. And then once again, if he wanted to stand still, his velocity would be 0, and the line would be a horizontal line again. So that's what happens if he's traveling either at a constant speed or if he is standing still.